Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast. Today is Monday, 20th March 2017. I'm Fredicia Liebert. The Ministry of Social Development will this week, Wednesday, host the I Am Woman rally at the Charlestown Secondary School grounds, more popularly known as the Villa. The rally is being themed #BeBoldForChange and features speeches and performances from a number of local artists, with guest artist Destra Garcia.
Hi Nevis, this is your girl Destra, aka Lucy, aka the Queen of Bacchanal, and I will be in Nevis this week, the 22nd of March, for the International Women's Day Rally. Be bold for change. See you there.
Minister of Social Development, the Honorable Hazel Brandy Williams, made an appeal for women to join the march.
We are hoping to gather at least 1,000 women to rally for women issues. We are rallying for issues such as stop the violence against women. We are rallying for issues such as equal pay for equal work and other issues, topical issues that are affecting women in our society. So I would like to take this opportunity to encourage as many women as possible to come out and rally with us. All you have to do is to register your name at the Ministry of Social Development or at the Gender Affairs Division, and you will receive a t-shirt, and that you will wear on that day as we rally through the streets of Charlestown.
The event is part of a two-day forum Sustainable Development Unit will host on the 22nd and 23rd of March. The conference will look at the 2030 agenda, which sets out sustainable development goals by the United Nations. Agenda 2030, which was formalized in 2016, expects the goals and targets will stimulate action over the next 15 years in areas of critical importance for humanity and the planet. The Minister of Housing and Land in the Nevis Island Administration, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, stated that there are just about 31 homes available at the Cedarview Housing Development through the Nevis Housing and Land Development Corporation. Minister Jeffers spoke about the application process.
You fill out your application, you will be contacted by means of a letter acknowledging your application. Then we have an arrangement with the Nevis Cooperative Credit Union who would handle these mortgages for us. And then that step will be initiated once we would have sent your information through that channel, and the persons who have been successful would then meet with the credit union to finalize the mortgage. A mortgage, for example, that is less than $200,000, one is required to pay a deposit or down payment, of $5,000. That is $200,000 and lower. You're required to pay $5,000 down payment. For a mortgage, say between $200,000 to $225,000, you're required to pay just about $7,500, and anything over $225,000 to $250,000, you're required to pay $10,000.
According to the Housing and Land Minister, the down payment for the homes at NHLDC is less than those of other commercial banks on the island of Nevis. He then commended the St. Christopher and Nevis Social Security Board for their assistance in making the livelihood of people in St. Kitts and Nevis easier.
And I want to say congratulations to those who who are potential homeowners at this point in time and who would eventually own a home. I want to say congratulations to you, and I want to say thank you once again to the Social Security Board, who continue to make the contribution to the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis, whether in education, in sports, housing, social development, and all those areas. I want to commend them for their effort, and I want the persons who would secure these mortgages to come or go to the institution, the credit union that is, to pay your mortgage, because we have to pay back this loan to Social Security, because these are monies that they have taken up to invest in us as a people, and in turn we have to reciprocate and pay our mortgages so that Social Security can do similar things in the future in terms of making our lives and our livelihood a little bit easier here on the island of Nevis.
Honorable Alexis Jeffers was speaking on the first edition of Government at Work, a new radio program that began on Thursday, 16th March. In related news, the Nevis Water Department wishes to advise the general public on the following service interruptions in the coming days. Areas to be affected from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. are Fothergills to Maddins, Hickmans to Zion, Fothergills to Hanley's Road, which includes Rice's, Sheriff's and Sheriff's Village. These areas would also be turned off during the day from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Additional areas to be affected are Coal Hill, Pond Hill, Hermitage, Brown Pasture, Burden Pasture, Upper Morningstar area, Sturge Hill, Meads Pasture to Market Shop, Maynard's Ground, Cox, Chickenstone, Montpelier, and Lamper Hill. Charlestown will include Ramsbury to Lower Craddock Road, Newcott, and Bath Village. Service interruptions will continue this evening starting at 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. in Bricklin by the Old Baptist Church, Westbury, Lower Jones Estate, Cades Bay to Orley Beach Hotel, Clifton Estate, and Hamilton or Nelson Spring area. Please note that all the areas listed above may have moments during the day where there may be intermittent interruptions in the water service. Please be so guided and have water stored in the event of outage. The Nevis Water Department sincerely apologizes for these interruptions, but are working tirelessly to ensure that the service is regularized as soon as possible. Minister of Works, Public Utilities and Posts, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, stated that there was a breakdown in the system and an attempt was made to correct the problem.
So the attempt was made to put the previous pump back into the well, and something occurred whereby that pump was lost in the well. That being said, we then had to find ways and means to continue pumping water here on the island of Nevis, and we have since replaced that particular pump with a pump that pumps just about 140 gallons per minute, 150 gallons. So you understand we have left from about 350 to 400 gallons of water per minute down to about 150. And with the increased demand, we are going through a dry period now, and there's more demand on the system. So it means then that we are unable to supply to meet the demands.
Minister of Public Utilities, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, speaking on the new radio program called Government at Work. Still to come, Prime Minister, the Honorable Timothy Harris, to have open dialogue on the decriminalization of marijuana. The details are after this break.
Hi Nevis, this is your girl Destra, aka Lucy, aka the Queen of Bacchanal, and I will be in Nevis this week, the 22nd of March, for the International Women's Day Rally. Be bold for change. See you there.
As a responsible taxpayer, you help to finance free healthcare at all health centers on Nevis. Thank you for putting country above self. This message was brought to you by the Inland Revenue Department, Nevis. Be a responsible citizen.
Welcome back. St. Kitts and Nevis's Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris, says his government is ready for open dialogue with the relevant stakeholders on the issue of the decriminalization of marijuana. Harris, responding to a question while appearing as a guest on WinFM's 98.9's Voices program last week, said that decriminalization of marijuana is a matter for national consultation. He said a submission has gone into the cabinet and hopefully next week they will attempt to set up that broad-based committee that would look at all of the issues involved in the use of marijuana and all other matters in relation to it, and that will have representation from the Rastafarian community, from health, from law enforcement and the schools, etc. And such other relevant parties, of course, will have input as the Commission, if you will, goes about doing its work and hearing from the people, Harris stressed. However, the Prime Minister said a national discussion is important to the overall educational process on the issue, where people can look objectively at the pros and the cons in relation to this matter, and determine where the country could find a consensus with regard to all the knowledge that we must know. Prime Minister and Minister of National Security of St. Kitts and Nevis and Chairman of the Regional Security System, RSS, Council of Ministers, the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris, has warned that people must be on their guard against cybercriminals in what he described as a new emerging area that is creating a tremendous level of concern. Speaking at the recently held RSS Council of Ministers meeting at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort on March 17th, Prime Minister Harris said that he was made aware that someone was operating in disguise under his name on the internet. The Prime Minister called on persons in society to be more vigilant of persons trying to solicit money in the cyber world. The RSS chairman, whose tenure ends on March 31st of this year, reminded the Council of Ministers that it had agreed previously to establish a cybercrime laboratory at the RSS headquarters in Barbados in light of the situations that have emerged the world over that have transboundary implications, and therefore all of us have to be ready. And finally, we're just a little over a week away from the 2017 Agriculture Open Day, which is slated for Thursday 30th and Friday 31st March at the Villa Grounds in Charlestown. Manager of the Department of Agriculture's Abattoir Division, Gary Griffin, stated that his division has been preparing for over a month and is just about ready for the biggest agricultural event on Nevis. Griffin said that his division will be introducing one new processed product.
This year, though, we introducing basically one new product, which is pork bacon, which is made from the belly of the pig, of the pork, and also we'll be doing some new fabrication from sheep and goat, like the neck, the shanks. We have some shoulders, legs, and some lamb chops. Those we will be rolling out as well. There's abundance of pork on the island. Selling pork in its raw state. It wasn't moving the way I wanted it to move, so we started to do some processing using the pork, like the pork burgers. We do the seasoned pork roast. This year we're going to have it cooked and uncooked. Then we decided to venture into the bacon.
He also spoke about an additional product that will be introduced for the first time at the 2017 edition of the Open Day.
We will be having rabbit, like I said, for the first time. I think sometime back we had it as a dish, was introduced as a dish, but the actual meat itself, raw state, we're going to have it this year. Griffin
said that this year the Abattoir Division will have enough product to last for the full 2 days of the event.
We have a lot of pork on the island. It's a lot of pork in abundance. Those are already been prepped. We have backups as well. The beef already been slaughtered, prepped as well. Mutton, we have quite a bit in storage, still have some more to prepare. We should be able to satisfy all our customer needs this year in terms of mutton, beef and pork.
The theme for the 2017 edition of Agriculture Open Day is Embracing Climate Smart Agriculture to Achieve Greater Food Security. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Fredicia Liburd. Thank you for viewing.